Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public to get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. They get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. They'll try and tempt you with the cash sum on the table today.
£600, Mike.
But you have a way to go.
A way to go.
A way to go.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to say, no way, Jose. Have a gamble. Go to auction. We may just get you a little bit more money there.
No, at 320 sells at 320.
Today the show comes to you from Gainsborough in Lincolnshire. There's a huge crowd of people. They've been here since early this morning. They are determined to walk away with cash in their pocket or gamble and go to auction. But either way, they want the real deal.
The dealer's den is packed to the rafters with all manner of antiques and collectibles. Good friends Georgina and Jenny are keen to get their deal underway. They've sat down with David Haley.
I am definitely going to buy it.
Someone's confident.
This is a barometer.
It is, yeah.
Where did you get this from?
It was
Don't
my
tell me the car
dad's.
boot.
No, it
Oh.
was my dad's. He collected things for a long, long while.
Well, it's a very nice barometer, this. I do like barometers, and this is quite an unusual one. I shouldn't be telling you all these things, really, should I? I don't know whether that's the retail man there, Mason of Dublin, or could have been the shop, or it could have been the maker.
It could have been, but he did go to a lot of country house sales, and
Yeah.
we do have some other things that are from Dublin anyway. So
Oh, really?
I presume that somebody, you probably went to a house and bought a lot of things.
Yes, yeah. Well, there's a little knob here, little lever here, which would tell you the last setting, you see, and then you see which way it's moving. Rain or getting better.
Oh, it's
If
obviously
you look
getting
around,
better.
Looking around the back, it says Atmos barometer. It's all very original in its mahogany case with a carrying handle on the top. And it seems to be in working order, doesn't it? Because it's stormy. It's a bit stormy out there this morning.
It is a little bit, yeah.
So, would you like to sell me this instrument?
For the right price, yes.
I'll get the cash out and see if we can do anything, eh?
Right.
20? 40? £80.
No. No.
100. 120.
No.
140.
No, no.
What have I got here? 140, 150.
No.
160.
No.
When are you going to say yes?
Probably. If the money's right. Not yet.
I'm going to give £200 and I think I'm getting about there.
I think we'll send it to auction.
Would you?
Yeah.
220.
Any more?
Oh, dear me. You know, that's got to make, at auction now, it's got to make about 260, I think,
Yeah.
roughly. £25. Marvellous bid, isn't it?
It's not bad, but I think we'll still send it to auction.
230.
No, we'll send it to auction.
240.
No, we'll send it to auction.
250. £255 now. A lot of money.
What about a bit more then? If you want it that bad.
Oh. What about a bit less?
Oh no.
Oh no, we wouldn't accept any less.
It's good, isn't it, this?
It is, yeah, I'm quite enjoying this.
How much have we got there? 260.
I think we'll deal at that, shall we?
Thank you very much for the deal.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it. Enjoy the money, you two.
Thank you.
You've been very hard with me.
Good. think our tactics paid off well, you know.
I really like that barometer because it was unusual. And today, that's what we need to buy, unusual items.
You outfoxed Dapper Dave there, girls. Can he still make a profit? Find out later. Time for some festive cheer now with David's daughter Cheryl and seller Tim.
I brought a large collection of vintage Christmas cards along today. I'd be hoping to achieve anywhere just over the £200 mark for them really today.
There are hundreds and hundreds of them. I would probably be 100 by the time I sold them all.
Ah, humbug. Look out, Cheryl. This Tim's not so tiny.
Tell me about your collection.
Well, I've got about 600 to 700 vintage Christmas cards which I've collected over the last few years or so. And I'm just mad about Christmas anyway. So I guess that sort of started it all off. But yeah, I'm just fascinated by history, but also fascinated by Christmas cards and Christmas postcards in particular.
So what was the first one you bought and what got you
It was
into
this album in
Okay.
particular, really. But I just managed to get it in an auction. The gentleman I bought them off wasn't very happy with the price that he got, but he'd got a lot more. So I then did another deal with him after the auction to buy the rest off him. So just amassed a huge collection, really.
I do love it when people come on the show that are experts in a particular field, and you must be the Christmas card expert.
Probably the Christmas expert.
You must know everything there is to know. Have you got a particular favourite?
Well, I particularly like the more embroidered ones, the ones that people have obviously taken a lot more time over. And there's also some stories behind a lot of them. A lot of them were sent during the First World War, and you just wonder what's actually happened to that person. Yeah, it is fascinating.
And date-wise, are some of these 1890-ish?
The earliest starts around 1890. Nothing after World War II, so the bulk sort of turn of the century time.
Now, why are you thinking of selling them?
A couple of reasons: to declutter, but also to raise some money for spending money for holidays.
So, let's get some money out. So, let's think. 50, £100.
No, that's not enough.
150 for a bit of a gamble. I don't really know what they're worth, to tell you the honest truth.
No, I know, and when you talk about 50p a card, you're looking at £350. I'm not looking for that much, but I'm looking for a little bit more than that, if possible, please.
Tim, I think it may be a bit of a mean offer, but they worry me a bit because it's not really my thing.
One more, £200 and we've got a deal.
No, I'm being mean. I'm a bit worried by all 700 Christmas cards. I'm sticking at 150.
I think I'll deal with that, Cheryl.
You're going to deal?
Yes.
I'm now the proud owner of 700 Christmas cards for the first time in my dealing career.
All right, well done, thank you.
Thank you.
Over to Jan Keane. She's been joined by Mike.
I've come here to see if I can make some money from the cigarette case. Quite looking forward to it.
Cigarettes, a bit of a no-go area, but nevertheless an elegant piece, nicely made. I'll certainly be having a go on it. Mike, I'm Jan, nice to meet you.
Hiya.
And would you like to tell me a little bit about this cigarette case that you brought in today?
Yeah, I bought it about 12 years ago on the internet, realised it was made by a famous maker, Samson Mordaunt, and that it was quite a heavy weight, so I got a bargain with it, basically.
And why have you decided to sell it now?
Well, I think gold has gone up so much in value over the years, and I'm downsizing, basically. I've been a bit of a magpie collector, so I'm getting rid of some of my stuff.
Well, it certainly is a quality piece, and it's heavy, and it certainly is by a good maker, Samson Mordaunt, 1920s, engine turned, and a lovely clasp. You can hear that
I think they're
snap.
mostly used as calling card cases now, aren't
Yes, I was just about to say that would be a jolly good idea for it now. So you've obviously got an idea what it's worth, and we'll have to come to some sort of arrangement. I know it's 89 grams, so it weighs quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'll start off by putting some money down on the table and see if that brings a smile to your face. So that's 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, £600, Mike.
You've a way to go.
Right. OK, without messing about, another quick 100 on the table to say £700.
No, I don't think
Here's
that's...
our helper.
Right, 900 to 1100 is the estimation. There is, I think, £980 worth of scrap gold. So £700 is still on the low side. So let's see what happens.
And of course, it's made by Samson Mordaunt.
And actually, it would be very sad if it was just melted down, because it is a quality piece made by a premier maker. So after having heard what David's got to say, I'm going to cut to the chase, and I'm going to say, Mike, 850 on the table.
Well, I've come back in here now because I think we have to look at both sides of the scales here. In as much as 850, there is probably just over £100 profit, £120 profit. And I do not think that is unreasonable for a dealer.
Thank you, David. Right, Mike, so what do you think about what David's had to say then?
Well, since I had such a good bargain with it in the first place, I think we've got a deal.
How clever of you to hold on to it for so long. Thank you very much indeed.
That's right.
And now you can tell me what you really did pay.
I paid £100 for it 12 years ago.
Well done. Well, your quid's in. Clever you. I'd rather have a small profit than no profit at all. And I've got every confidence I'll sell it as a cigarette case and not have it scrapped.
Coming up, marital guidance from the Reverend Dickinson.
So what we have is a marriage. Now, I'll tell you something about marriages. Some marriages are made in heaven, but some are made in hell.
Will this deal end happily ever after? We've seen all sorts come through the doors here in Gainsborough. Time for Hoggy to have a haggle.
Fishing rods and me go together like bread and butter.
It's been valued somewhere around about £350 maximum.
Tony?
Yes.
Nice fishing rod.
Very nice fishing rod, yes.
Good condition.
Excellent condition.
What do you know about it?
Well, what it is, it's my daughter used to befriend a gentleman in a nearby flat next door.
Yeah.
And he left her the contents of the flat. But this item she cannot use.
No.
It's no good to her, so I'm selling it on her behalf.
So, yeah, I think they're called a split cane rod, this one.
Yeah.
This is like a cork handle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got the split cane here.
Split cane.
And then in the middle here, we've got the maker's name.
Maker's name.
Which
Richard Walker.
Gives it credibility, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I'm familiar with Hardy as a rod maker and things like that, and I'm sure this is a good quality rod because they've got their name on it.
Yes.
How old it is, I really don't know, to be honest with you. And how much it's worth, I don't know that either.
No.
So we're both in the dark a little bit, aren't we?
We're both in the dark, yeah.
My son Max is an avid fisher boy. He loves fishing.
Yes.
He'll get up at 5 in the morning to go fishing. I don't get it myself, but he loves it. So it's all about the money, really, isn't it?
Correct.
I'll take a stab in the dark on this one because I don't know. So, how does 50 quid sound?
No chance.
With another 50 on top of it. Say 100.
No chance. No.
Really?
Yeah.
You know more than me.
I know
Tony,
more.
you know more than me.
I know more than you.
Now I'll say 120.
No.
I'll say 140.
No.
160.
No. No. I would sooner go to the auction.
No, I would have thought this would have been a pastime, Hoggy. I know you do a bit of touring through Europe, all those beautiful lakes.
Yeah.
And you go to Scotland occasionally, you know.
Salmon.
Because you're not very tall, you see. You know those Wellington... you know those Wellington boots? They would come up to about here, you see.
That is size.
Waders.
You know, he couldn't wade in those rivers very much, could he? You know, OK, Hoggy, 50 to 150 seems to be the norm. Our auctioneer has gone a lot stronger. He's gone around about 200 to 300, that kind of area. And he's saying that's because the sheer condition of this item. That seems just a little bit untempting.
Yeah, it does, yeah. I would sooner go to auction if that's...
OK, we're not taking Hoggy's offer, and we're casting off to auction.
Right, thank you.
Oh dear, Tony.
Yeah. No.
180. Yeah,
no. Put another 50 on with that.
It's the one that got away.
It's one that got away.
Good luck at the auction.
Okay, thank you
I
very
hope
much.
it flies.
Right, thank you. Yeah, I do.
I wish I'd have got that fishing rod. I quite liked it. And the more I thought about it, the more I should have paid a little bit more. But I think I was sort of on the money.
Let's see if Tony can net the real deal in the sale room with auctioneer Colin Young.
The reserve is £200. It's a nice lot, and I think it's worth more than 180 quid. The question is, will we sell it? We're about to find out. It's coming up now.
150 to go. 150 bids, 60 now to a seat. At 150 and 60 now to a seat. At 150 bids, 60 now, 60. 170, 180.
It's at 180. It's so close.
At 180, any more bids? 185. At 185 bid.
It's creeping a bit more.
At 185, any more now? At 185. Do we have the vendor's authority to sell?
Do you want to sell at 185?
I think you better, David.
Yes, sir.
At £185 then, I will sell, make no mistake, at 185. 90 if you like.
I think you did the right thing on the day. You turned down the real deal, which was 180 in cash from Michael Hogburn. It made a little bit more in the room, 185, but you deduct the commission, it's down to 150. I think you've done the right thing. On the day, we're going to award the real deal to Michael Hogburn, 180 quid.
Not enough nibbles in the sale room, Tony. We're back in business with Mr. Hackney.
Quite interesting. Wants a bit of work on it, but I like it. I'm David Hackney. You are?
Roger.
Hello, Roger. Pleased to meet you.
Thank you.
Well, here's a nice little object you brought in here. Is it something you've had a long time?
Yeah, about early 80s, I would think. Yeah.
Where did you buy this from?
Well, I bought the movement from, dare I say, car boot type thing.
Did you?
And
it's a very nice movement.
And the case from an antique fair. And I put them together, and because the case was missing, obviously somebody's whaled it in for gold. And
what's nice about this, I think, is the size of it. And originally it would have been gilded or gold-plated, gilded, and it would have had a larger movement in it. Now, the movement that's in here is an English Verge pocket watch movement,
yes,
which is rather nice. In fact, it's a London maker, Shoreham, London.
Yeah.
And it fits quite nicely in there. You've made a damn good job of that, I've got to say. So you're a clock enthusiast, Roger?
Yeah, I have been, yes, and I'm just, a few bits and bobs, yeah.
Well, you're very handy. You've popped it in there quite nicely. Is it something you want a lot of money for?
As much as possible.
Well, of course you do, yeah. I'll get the dosh out and see if I can tempt you. 50 quid any good, Roger?
No.
70 quid?
No, I believe it should be a little bit more than that.
I think you're right. £90, Roger.
No, I wouldn't think so, would you, really?
Let me change those two. Looks better, doesn't it? There's
It does, yeah. I like the red bit. I do like the red.
I thought you would, yeah. Most people do. I wish it had the original movements, even though it's a nice movement in there, a little pocket watch movement.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I mean, I realise that it is. But you know that they're both desirable, even as separate items.
Well, I suppose you're right. Here's some advice.
Well, my advice in some ways conflicts with the experts and the auctioneer, because we've got a 3 to 4 and we've got a 3 to 5. And I look at this and I can see a 19th century brass case, and you have an early movement, an 18th century watch movement in it. That didn't start life in there, so what we have is a marriage. Now, I'll tell you something about marriages. Some marriages are made in heaven, but some are made in hell. Now, I'm not going to be rude and say which one this is, but this one has a problem. So it's where you estimate this. I feel the auctioneer is looking at the watch movement and saying, well, there's a couple of £100 worth in that 18th century watch movement. The case, is it 150 quid? The case, I don't know. But I think we're going to struggle within those estimations. I think at this stage we have to run it to the auction, we have to throw it open onto the floor, and we have to say, Please, people at the auction, please bid at it.
I'm going to make you a proper bid, and it's £170, and that would be my offer for it.
Is that the last offer?
I've found that if things aren't correct, it's got to be the price is right, and I'm going to say a little bit more, 180. And I would not be offended if you went to auction, because it's catchy, it's a nice size, and you might do better.
You wouldn't push it to 200 then?
190.
You're a nice chap, and
thank you.
I'm thinking about the commission and that. I'll take your deal.
Roger, thank you very much for the deal.
Thank you very
much. And I like the little clock, even though it's a marriage.
I was hoping to get anywhere up to £100, so getting, 190, nearly 200, it was, good day's work and good afternoon's work, isn't it?
I may keep it together, or I may sell it as is, but I liked it.
So Roger dodged a trip to the auction. Only time will tell the fate of the clock. Coming up, great minds think alike.
I'll put down an extra 50 and say 250.
£250.
And our sellers are on the same wavelength.
I think it's worth a little bit more than that.
I think they're worth another 100.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Our dealers are splashing the cash today. Jan's up next with a bit of a curio.
I've never seen anything like this before. I don't know what to make of it.
Don't worry, Jan. The Duke and auctioneer Colin Young are on hand to help this deal along.
You've brought in a curiosity and I'm going to let you tell me all about it because I know nothing.
Well, I understand this is a Bellamine jar. It's been in my family for a number of years. It was stored in a garden shed at my mother's house. I had it valued some years ago. It was put at 18th century, mid-18th century. It's English. It's a saltpeter glaze on an earthenware pot.
So, Trevor, can you tell me anything about this symbol here?
I believe that represents Cardinal Bellamine, who was a churchman, and he was anti-alcohol. So they put his emblem on the pot as a sort of ironic demonstration.
Yes. I mean, it's certainly a curiosity, and I mean, I like it, but I am out of my depth because I've no idea really what to offer you on it. Obviously, it's quite early, and it's amazing, really, because it could be 1920s, 1820s, but in fact, it is early 18th century.
Well, Colin, obviously an early pot.
Yes.
Do you know anything about this, or are you like myself in the dark here?
Well, I'm enlightened now and taken from the dark. It is one of those designs which, because of the historical sort of copying that's gone on, you sort of, you know it by style, you know the origins in that respect, but then the important thing on these things comes down to dating because they're still making them today.
I see. The independent values have gone in the 250 to 350 area. Yeah. Now, you seem to have gone in quite a bit stronger, Colin. You've gone with what?
I'm going with an estimate of 400 to 600 on it. I think it's just big enough, bold enough. I can't see any damage on it. So, you know, as a good furnishing piece, a good period antique, then I can't really see a problem with that.
It's an interesting lot. Is it going to make it at auction? Well, if it goes to auction, we'll find out. But let's see what our dealer says, and let's see what she puts on the table.
I'll have to put some money down on the table and see what we think.
Okay.
So let's put down £100.
Well, it is an 18th century pot in good condition.
Yes.
And I think it's worth a little bit more than that.
£100 is on the table, Colin. What do you think?
It's a start, but we've got to go some yet.
I need to get in there and tell our seller we need more money.
Here comes David to help us out.
Well, I think on this occasion we're low because 250 to 350 is the independent valuers. Now the auctioneer started off around there, but he's now gone a bit more buoyant and he's 4 to 6. Perhaps the 6 end is being very ambitious. I think it's worth £300 plus a bit, so I'm going to say not enough, worth a gamble at auction.
Whether I'm going to be going up to that top whack money, I'm not sure. I'm going to put a little bit more down on the table and let you make up your own minds of whether you want to take it to auction. So, I'm going to put another 50 down and another 50 to say I'll make it 200. And I don't know what you feel about that, whether you want to take your chance and get to auction.
It was valued some 20 years ago to 150. And I think allowing for inflation, that is just a little bit too low.
I'll put down an extra 50 and say 250. It may still not be enough to tempt you, but at least I feel I've had a good go on it.
Thank you for your increased offer, but I think I'd like to go to auction on this item.
I wish you all the best of luck, Trevor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jan.
I hope I've done the right thing. I really feel I must be fair to Trevor and let him take it to auction because it was really out of my field. But I think it's going to end up in the right place.
5 at a bid, 18 euros now.
Has Trevor been clever and outwitted our dealer?
Trevor's decided to gamble. He thinks the £250 offer was okay, but he thinks it's worth a little bit more. The reserve is 300. Will it make that kind of money? I think it's going to be close, but we're about to find out. It's coming up now. Let's see what happens.
What should we say for this one? A lot of interest in this one pre-sale, but we start only at 150 bid, 160, 170 now. 170 do I say? 170, 180, 190.
It's creeping. It's creeping.
200, 220 may I say now. 220 bid, sir? 220, 240. At 240 is on a bit of 240. Are we all done? 60 now do I see? 260. At 260.
It's at 260. It's very, very close to the reserve, but it's not going to get there.
Are we all done at 260? Last call then, done and finished and going then at 260. I'm afraid I have to withdraw that, ladies and gentlemen.
It didn't quite make the reserve. Perhaps the 300 was a little bit too optimistic, because the offer of 250 was cash with no deductions. I'm going to award the real deal to Jan, our dealer, at £250.
Never mind, Trevor. At least you know the jar's true value. No time to waste. Cheryl's next item is ready to go.
We've got two ivory figures. Nice early ones, 1880, 1890, something that I would really like to buy.
They're slightly damaged because they were in the London Blitz and were blown off the mantelpiece.
Our dealers love some good provenance. Best of luck, Dorothea.
Now you've brought some ivories. Tell me, how did you come to own these?
Well, through a family. I've always loved them, but they're a little worse for wear. And they're signed, and they really are Japanese ivory.
And why are you thinking of selling them?
I have the sort of a house with a nice fireplace and surround for them to go on. Mm-hmm. You know, I've got different things now.
OK, so you just fancied a bit of a change. Well, as you said, that they're ivory, they're Japanese, very desirable in the 1890s. People began to travel, they went to the Far East, and little figures like this would fit into the suitcase and people began to bring them back as souvenirs of the trip. And they weren't cheap when they were bought then. They've always been something of quality, as you've said. Still, I know we do have people that don't like ivory, but still old antique ivory is very collectible and very wanted. Not modern ivory at all, which these aren't. They have suffered quite a lot of damage, as you've said, and this chap here, he looks like he's missing something out of this hand maybe, and the brolly's a little bit loose on this one. But if we just have a little look upside down here, he has a nice red seal. If we ever see the red seal, it's always that bit more quality to the figure. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get some money out, Dorothea. I'm going to try and buy them. If you don't like my offer, you know you can always go to auction, but I'll do my best.
Thank you very much.
Right. 50, 100, 150, £200.
I think they're worth another 100.
You think they're worth another 100?
I do, yes.
I have to say the damage is putting me off a little bit because they are very difficult to get repaired. So I'm going to put £250 down. Here's David.
Yes.
Well, I've had a look at those, Dorothy. They are sectional ivories. £300 to £400 is the estimation for the two, and that is allowing for a little bit of wear and tear on one of the figures. It's fashionable at the moment. Japanese ivories are doing well. Make a note, these are circa 1900 Meiji period. They need to be pre-1947. Nothing after 1947 can be traded or sold in ivory because of the CITES Treaty that protects rare species. So, I think at £300, you'd be getting a very good buy. I think if they went to auction, I think they would do better. I'm going to say for a young girl who is 91 years young...
Crikey, Dorothea.
Get another 50 quid in. Give her a treat. They're lovely ivories and you'll sell them and you'll make a profit.
Thank you.
Well, Dorothea, if I put another 50 down, that would give you 300. Would we have a deal?
Yes.
Right. You're such a charming lady. There's £300. It's been a pleasure to deal with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dorothea was so charming, gave a little bit more than I really wanted to, but she was lovely. I'm very happy with the deal.
I got on fabulously, with a lot of help.
Coming up.
How long did it take you, Reed, to collect that?
Over 10 years.
You could collect it like that, Hoggy. You know what it's like. You'll have this soul like that.
But will the Duke's confidence help seal the deal? Some cracking lots have cropped up here in Lincolnshire. Reed's hoping her collection will drum up some interest.
I brought my cigarette card collection today, the military part of the collection. And, well, it's time for it to go, so I hope to get a good price for it today.
Most smoking memorabilia is not collectible. Cigarette cards, however, is in another league.
Really, Hoggy? Well, let's kick this deal off.
Reed, thanks for coming in today. What a fantastic collection of cigarette cards. Where did you get them from?
Thank you. Collected them over the years.
How long has it taken you to build such a collection?
Number of years, last 10 years or so.
Wow. I mean, I have had a flip through earlier on, obviously, because we need to have a look, but what do you think is the rarest set in there, Reed? Show me what you think is rare.
I can't pick, really. Thompson & Porteous, Victoria Cross Heroes, really rare.
Yeah, that is a rare one, isn't it?
Yep.
Is that a part set or complete set?
No, it's a set of 41. This is the other thing, so that's a full set.
You've spent so much time collecting all this. Why are you selling it now?
Well, I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
And number 1 and 2 have gone off to uni, and number 3 is going, and he's expecting to be sent away with some goodies.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. Well, I just think it's a really impressive collection. So it's just really down to the money. I haven't got a clue what to pay for these. Because I don't know the value.
I'll tell you to stop, don't worry.
50, 100, 50, 200. Is that any good?
No.
250?
No, you're...
Long way off?
Yeah, long way off.
300?
No.
I'm blind on this, so 300 quid is my bid at the moment. I'm happy to pay more, but I still think, David, this is best at auction.
Well, I think you're right, a wide audience, but I'm going to say this, 3 to 4 is the estimation.
Right, OK.
You've got 3 down there. How long did it take you, Reed, to collect that?
Over 10 years.
You could collect it like that, Hoggy.
30 quid a year.
You could collect
well,
it
when
like
you put it like that, it doesn't look like a lot, does it? I think.
I'm going to say, Hoggy, get another 50 quid in. You might be underestimating this lot.
I might. You're right.
I think there's still a profit in this for a diamond geezer to market it. You know what it's like. You'll have this sold like that.
My palms are itching, Reek. My palms are itching. Wow, I mean, I thought they would have been valued at more than that. That's my first thought.
I agree with you.
Because as I said to you, I didn't really know what they were worth. Reek, I think this auction has got to be the best place for it, don't you?
Yes, I agree, yeah.
You're going to take it to the auction?
I think so.
I don't blame you. Have you been to the auction before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, David will look after you. It'd be great fun.
Lovely.
I'm glad Rick took my advice and took them to auction. That's the best place for them. Wider audience, better price.
You turn down 300. 300 to 400 is the estimate with a reserve of 300. Let's see what happens. It's coming up now. £300 you turned down. Are we going to do better? Let's find out.
Who's going to start me at £300? 300 straight in, 300, 300 straight in on the net. So £300 bid, 320. Is there 340 anywhere else now? 340, 360, 380.
Lots of collectors like you used to be on the internet. I've asked for a condition report on the cards.
400, 420, 440, £440 bid, 460, 480, 500, 550, 550 bid, 600, 650, 650 bid. Is there 700 in the room? But there's 700 on the net.
It's a great lot.
750, 800 bid.
Surprised?
No.
No?
It's worth it.
Playing poker with me here. No, not surprised.
It looks like we've settled at £800. I'll ask one more time if there's a bid from the room. We're at £900 bid. Will 925 help? It does help. Every little bit helps. 925.
925 has come in from someone else on the internet.
950 to a C. I have a bid of £925. Going once, £925. Thank you very much to all the bidders.
Well, the gavel's gone down at £925. Commission to take away leaves you with £758. Is that more than you paid for this portion of your collection, do you think?
Oh, yes. Yes, at least we're well ahead.
Okay. Congratulations on the collection. The real deal was on the internet. £925. Take home £758. What a great price.
All those years of collecting paid off. We've seen some serious cash on today's show, with nearly £2,500 laid out by our dealers.
No, 160.
But have they been able to make anything? It was a slow day for Hoggy, as all his items found their way to the auction.
It's the one that got away.
It's one that got away.
And Jan only did slightly better with her one buy of the day.
I think we've got a deal.
How clever of you to hold on to it for so long. Thank you very much indeed.
The card case was sold on to a collector for £960. So it was the Battle of the Halfpennies on today's show. But who came out on top? Dad David got carried away with the barometer.
I'm going to change that one. It's good, isn't it, this?
It is, yeah, I'm quite enjoying this.
But even after paying over the odds at £260, he still walked away with a reasonable return. So, did daughter Cheryl top that?
They're slightly damaged because they were in the London Blitz and were blown off the mantelpiece.
After spending £90 on restoration, she saw a £60 profit. So, with one more deal each, it's still all to play for. Sadly, a divorce was on the cards for the clock. David split up the case and movement to reap the reward. So, Cheryl, can you top that?
I'm quite fascinated by them, so I'm looking forward to having a really good look through them. So it could turn out to be a good deal, who knows?
Unfortunately, our very own Christmas cracker hasn't been able to sell the cards on. So today's daddy of the deals is Dapper Dave. Congratulations, Mr. H.
We've had a great day. There's been lots of action, lots of buying, lots of selling. That's what we like to see. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.